we have to talk about something that was crazy this past like 2 or 3 days. And Sam, as we jump into this, man, and we talked about this, and it calmed down today, thank God. I think it's finally calming down. It's gonna pass. This too shall pass.
Your poor mentions, by the way. You must have been getting blown up.
Yeah, I literally muted it. So I'm looking at this now. So 8 million impressions. It doesn't give me the exact. So it's 8 million. Could be close to 9 already, but 8 million impressions. So meaning 8 million people looked at the tweet. They didn't interact with it. They just looked at it and then scrolled by it because you have to stop to actually get that impression. So they stopped, looked at it, read it, moved on. 8 million people. 51,871 people up to this point right now have stopped and engaged, meaning they've either quote tweeted me, retweeted me, responded to somebody else who tweeted above. And we're going to talk about this dude. 14,000 people have expanded the details of this tweet. So meaning they read all the comments. Then they also went to my profile. 7,000 profile visits. People were trying to figure out, who is this guy tweeting this junk? Like, who tweeted this? And then I only got a couple new followers. Not a lot. Couple. Here's the tweet. It's all over a tweet. The tweet says, can you name 10 NFL quarterbacks you'd rather have over current quarterback for the Vikings, Kirk Cousins? I said, I don't think you honestly can. And this is why. When you look at the top 10 list, so like Brandon Molesky, for instance, friend of the show, he said Mahomes, Allen, Rodgers, Brady, Wilson, Dak, Lamar, Burrow, Herbert, Stafford, Kyler. I don't agree with Kyler. I don't agree with Dak. And even Russell Wilson to this point. And people are like, oh, Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins are in the same draft class. Yeah, but Kirk didn't have to play for like 3 or 4 years. Whereas Russell played from the start. He's been injured. Like, your body takes a toll on you if you play right away. I mean, you're getting beat up. Where Kirk got to sit back for a little bit and relax and watch RG3 come in sparingly when RG3 gets hurt and then eventually becomes a starter. You go to another list. Similar, Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Burrow, Rodgers, Brady. But this is the one. And I don't know if I have it exactly. But Shannon Sharp. I don't know what I did to Shannon Sharp. I didn't do anything to him. Shannon, I love Shannon. He's a great guy. But Shannon Sharp came off the top rope. And his biggest thought process in this one was just like, I don't know if he doesn't like Kirk Cousins or he just really, because I mean, a lot of people have a stigma about Kirk. And let's be honest. Shannon Sharp won Super Bowls. He played with one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history in John Elway. So his what should we call it? His thought process of what a quarterback should be probably isn't what a lot of other people think. Meaning he's seen elite, but he's also won with the Ravens with a quarterback who threw the ball sparingly and they ran the ball. It was about defense, not turning the ball over. And so Shannon Sharp, it started off crazy anyway, because of course people it's Kirk Cousins. You tweet Kirk Cousins like throwing frozen French fries into 500-degree oil. And so people were talking about, so here's Shannon Sharp's quote tweet. Brady, Burrow, Rodgers, Herbert, Mahomes, Stafford. I can get with them on that. Allen, I probably can see Josh Allen. I can see that because he is elite. He does run. He does make some ridiculous throws. Watson, we haven't seen for a year, so I'm concerned about that one. When you take that much time off from football, I don't really know, what you're going to get. What's the product you're going to get on the field? But this Murray Wilson, I'm struggling with that. And then he says, is that enough? ? No, that's not enough, Shannon. Yeah, it's enough. But this is the thing. Murray, I don't know why everybody's so high up on Kyler Murray. Personally, it just looks like a kid running around, making circus throws to DeAndre Hopkins sometimes. Like, he can't really see over the line. You give Kirk Cousins an offensive coordinator like a Sean McVay, like a Zach Taylor. I think he's better. Like, I think they're going to groom him to be better. You look at when Kirk Cousins was with Kevin O'Connell, did pretty well. Now he has him back. And that's why I say that. Like, people are forgetting that Kirk Cousins played in a dictatorship. He played for a coach that did not visit him in the offensive meeting room. definitely they started watching film together. But I mean, I've heard comments from offensive players that would say something like, "Oh yeah, I don't really see Zim around." Like, why not? Oh, well, he's with the defense. So it's nothing wrong with that. It's not a knock. It's just saying it's the truth. Kirk Cousins hasn't had a coach sit in meetings with him, sit down next to him. Kevin O'Connell is going to be right there in the offensive meeting room with Kirk Cousins. He's going to even stop in the quarterback room every once in a while with Kirk Cousins. Like this is his baby. The offense is his baby. Mike Zimmer, his baby was defense. So we did that. But that's why Kevin O'Connell went out and got Ed Donatel. Get a veteran DC so that I can relinquish it. Zimmer tried to do that with Gary Kubiak. He had it with Shermer, and then he ended up giving Clint Kubiak the job, which a lot of people question that. And so then you don't have that, like, that veteran coach presence to say, this is where I'm at. And so I say this, Sam. After Shannon Sharpe did all that, now the quote tweets are at 500 quote tweets and only 12 retweets. The biggest thing is the comments. Like, people are absolutely murdering the comment section. Like, they are all over this thing. It's crazy how many comments. And people love to quote tweet it because they want to say their quarterbacks and then get their friends to see it and respond. You know, some people want to say, oh, he's goofy. He's this. This is what I say, man. I can say normal, smart stuff all the time. I can be honest. I've always said, I don't know if Kirk Cousins has the true clutch gene that some of these top guys have, but I think he can, you know, you can coach him up and we'll see if he can do it. Like, at the end of the day, you still have to make the play. But here's what I say. I'm tired of like towing the line and being this, like, I'm going to be right here in the middle. I'm going to make sure I don't say anything crazy. I'm going to Skip Bayless this thing. Like, Skip Bayless says the dumbest stuff ever, and he's getting paid a lot of money to say it. So why wouldn't I? Stephen A. Smith jumps out there all the time and says stuff. It might not be the best. It might come back as controversial. People might question him, but they're talking about it. So why would I sit up there and do this when I can do that and get this out of it? I get Ryan Clark. I get Shannon Sharpe. I get all these people with blue check marks from all these different publications now commenting on the tweet, you know, saying whatever they want to say. You can't say I don't know football, though. You can say whatever you want. You can't say I don't know football. You can call me goofy. You can say, dude, are you high? You can say, were you drunk? Maybe. But you cannot say I don't know football. And so I say that because I'm like, let's let this year play out. If Kirk Cousins sucks this year and he's still making the same dump offs when somebody's wide open, I'll go back. I'll say, you know what, man, I was wrong. Here's 10 or here's 12 or 15 quarterbacks I take Kirk. But if Kirk comes out and kills it, and Kevin O'Connell gets lightning in a bottle like Zach Taylor got, like Matt LaFleur got, like Sean McVay got, why not? He got it with Jared Goff. And so that's where I go with that. But I get Shannon. Like I said, you play with John Elway. Of course you don't think Kirk Cousins is elite. Like, you play with John Elway. You know, that's like playing an Xbox or PlayStation and then going and playing with an Atari from 1980. Like, you're going to be like, I mean, I get it. It works. It's not this Xbox. Like, that's what Shannon Sharpe is. But also it's Shannon, and he loves to do that. He's done it to me, like, I think once or twice now, where he's just kind of flamed it up. And I'll check the next day, like you said, my mentions, and I have no idea what happened. And I look at the originator of it. Because again, I didn't know what had happened. I just saw the thing blowing up. And then I saw the quote tweet, because you have to kind of, you know, you have to click some of them to see them. Then I'm like, all right, this appreciate it though. I'm saying, like, I'm glad he did it because he blew my tweet up. And so now, but that's why I'm gonna defend it. Like, I look at Kirk Cousins' numbers. I could say he's 9th or 10th, but Kyler Murray, I'm not so, because that's the one that keeps getting thrown in there by everybody. I'm just not sold that he's better than Kirk Cousins. Lamar Jackson, his system. You know, I don't know if he could sit back in a true path. Not say he's not a quarterback. He's a quarterback. We're not playing that game. Like, that's dumb and antiquated. He's a quarterback, but he's a quarterback that needs a system to work with him. And that's where I think Kirk Cousins is. He needs a system that's going to work for him. Ryan Tannehill needed a system that worked for him. He found it in Tennessee. He needed a healthy dose of the run game, and then he can work into the pass game. I think Kirk Cousins needs to pass to run. I think Kirk Cousins needs to feel loved to succeed. I think Kirk Cousins needs a little push in the back to become like a guy that's going to take chances and understand if you make a mistake, hey, we're okay, man. We got a great defense. I tell my daughter's team all the time in softball, when you're a pitcher and you got elite people behind you, you can just pitch. You don't have to think about, I got to strike every single girl out. I watched UCF this weekend go to 11 innings with Michigan. And that's what happened. When she realized Jada Cody and these girls were out there making plays behind her, she just relaxed and started pitching. Like Oklahoma, their pitchers like, man, we're about to score 20 runs in this game. They put up 20 on Texas A&M. That's why I'm like, I don't know if the Gophers wanted to get to that game to play the championship against Oklahoma. 20-0 in softball. That looked like a football score. 20-0. If I'm a pitcher and I know I got these girls, Jocelyn Alo, and the rest of these girls hitting the ball like that, she had 2 home runs. I can just pitch because these girls are going to put runs up. That's where I think Kirk Cousins needs to get. He needs to get the confidence to say, if I make a mistake, it's not that big of a deal. My defense is going to help me out too. But Sam, I mean, what do you think about the weekend with Shannon Sharpe and his tweet, man?
Man, I love your passion to defend this thing. I think it's awesome. You know how I feel about.
Yeah, you think Kirk Cousins middle of the road? I know it. Yep.
But on your birthday, I don't have an intention of raining on your parade entirely. I just want to point out the one stat that I keep going back to, the stat that comprehensively grades quarterback play, takes into account everything: sacks, turnovers, success rate, EPA. It lumps it all together. QBR. Kirk Cousins' QBR in his 4 years with the Vikings: 15th, 18th, 13th, 14th. That's all I got.
But the QBRs, this is the thing about QBR, was one that was created by ESPN because they needed a stat. They needed something to talk about. The person that created it, it doesn't take into account the doors getting blown off by the offensive line, like running for your life, making throws, play calling. It doesn't take into account 3rd and freaking 13, and you're going to run a screen. You know what I mean? Like, it's some, like, it doesn't take into account some of the dumb stuff. And when I say screen, I don't mean like a cute, tricky, I mean like a everybody knows it's coming screen, or a draw, you know, where the play gets blown up and now you're running with the ball because you get sacked because these guys couldn't. I mean, one of your guys throws the lineman into you and the play is not a screen. It's a pass. And he throws the guy, hits him in the back and throws it by you. A lot of Vikings fans remember that play. I forgot which lineman it was, but absolutely just threw the guard into the nose tackle into Kirk Cousins, like stepping on his foot and he falls. Like, that's the stuff QBR doesn't always take into account. That's why I look at passer rating. He's 103. He was 4th last year. Like, his passer rating has been good. His QBR, maybe not, but his yards, his conversions, you know, all of that stuff, he's in those top 10 categories. Explosive plays and explosive plus. He's up there. Oh, Kirk Cousins dumps the ball up. The man is top 4 in explosive plays, 20 plus, 40 plus. So, yeah, I get it. It's apples and apples, or apples and oranges, whatever you want to say. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. We got to figure it out this season. He's got a new coach. I might be wrong. I can admit that. I've learned after 16 years of marriage, I might be wrong. Not a lot, but I might be.